not only does Princess Corruption have a father who's in jail for bribery, war crimes, basically just anything and everything, but Princess Corruption has her own corruption charges to deal with, right? Like father, like daughter. The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. Keiko has her own. I mean, big shocker, right? The super far-right death squad Pizarro Conquistador party, the party of corruption, the one that designed this constitutional bullshit. So, golly, I hope. So, Pedro Castillo, let's announce this first, right? So, it is now the next day, June 7th, 2021, Monday, and we don't have a winner just yet. You got to count all those rural regions. There's, what, 26 regions? So you got to count all 26 of those rural regions. And they said they won't, until dawn, maybe tomorrow night. So we might not even know anything until tomorrow night. But there was one moment when Pedro Castillo was winning by a frog hair, by a millimeter, by a nanometer. The new quick count results triggered immediate celebrations of "We won" in Tacubamba. So Tacubamba were freaking the fuck out. This is an Andean town closest to the impoverished village where Pedro Castillo was born and raised, which is also where he's waiting for the results. So Tacubamba was getting all fucking crazy. The tight race could lead to days of uncertainty as official counts trickle in. Many trigger social unrest if delusion. Supporters of either candidate question the results. May trigger. Castillo had earlier called his supporters out onto the streets after the exit poll gave a slender lead to his rival Fujimori. I asked our people to defend every vote. Pedro Castillo wrote on Twitter, I call on Peruvian people from all corners of the country to go to the streets in peace, to be vigilant in the defense of democracy. Speaking before the quick count via megaphone from a balcony to crowds in Tacubamba, Pedro Castillo appealed for calm. So that's where the race is right now, right? Barely neck and neck. And this has always been Keiko's, legacy. In 2016, she lost by 0.2 percentage points, 50.1% versus 49.9%. And then Keiko also lost in 2011, 51 to 49. This is, basically this is Peru's Hillary Clinton, but she didn't just, lose 2 times and then step down. No, Keiko's going to go for another 3rd time, right? The Popular Force Party, the super far-right Death Squad Pizarro Conquistador Party. So she already barely lost in 2011, 51 to 49. In 2016, 50.1 to 49.9%. So only 0.2 percentage points. She lost 5 years ago. And, 2-time loser. Has she institutionalized it? I guess we'll find out after tomorrow. Now, she has to deal with her own corruption charges. Now, the details are kind of, goes here and goes there and what have you. So I'm just going to read some of this, but just give a little commentary. Now, at first, Keiko is going to, call for the president's head. The president, Pedro Pablo Kuczynski. So Kuczynski appeared before Congress to defend himself against impeachment over allegations of covering up illegal payments of $782,000 from Odebrecht to Kuczynski's company, Westfield Group Capital Ltd. Keiko Fujimori, she lost the 2016 presidential elections to Kuczynski by a margin of fewer than 50,000 votes. She pushed for impeachment. She championed impeachment. Her party had already forced out 5 government ministers. So incredible, because Keiko herself is going to go to pre-trial jail, sentenced for 3 years. I don't know how many of her pre-trial detention she actually served. And pre-trial detention, my God, have a quick and speedy trial. You can't be in jail for 3 fucking years before you even... Anyways, so in October 2018, 31, this all could be politics, right? Right-wing, left-wing. A judge is going to send Keiko to pre-trial detention for 36 months. And then Kuczynski resigns the presidency March 21st, 2018. He sent to pre-trial detention on April 10th, 2019. Maybe he was sitting right next to Keiko. So Keiko said, impeach Kuczynski. Kuczynski just resigns, pulls a Nixon, and both of them were sent to so it looks like the judicial branch, the executive and the legislative branch are getting their asses kicked by the judicial branch. Now, April 17th, 2019, Alan Garcia. This is a former president of Peru. He was implicated in the scandal. He died by suicide. Or was he suicided, right? I mean, he was shooting himself in the head while the police attempted to arrest him. The police tried to arrest him, and he just, instead of being arrested, just shot and killed himself. Former President Alejandro Toledo, 2001 to 2006, was also implicated in the bribery scandal, arrested in Redwood City, California in July 2019 for allegedly taking bribes in connection with a highway construction contract. So Jesus Christ, a former president of Peru committed fucking suicide over this. You know, Operation Car Wash is a scandal, and it actually comes out of, I want to say like fucking goddamn, you know, Argentina or some shit. It didn't even have to do with Peru. Peru just kind of got some of the, Glenn Greenwald, he was a part of it. Glenn Greenwald he's always involved somehow in Operation Car Wash. So shit, Operation Car Wash, Glenn Greenwald's reporting led to a former president of Peru to commit suicide. Keiko, what's-her-face, Fujimori, Princess Corruption, Princess, sterilization of indigenous, Princess Sterilization. She had actually gone to jail. She has her own corruption charges, and her father's got a shit ton of war crimes and bribery scandals and this and that. But since Keiko is such a tour de force in Peru, in a way, this election, I feel like 3 times in a fucking row, she kind of has already said that, given her father a pardon by the political force that she has been. And so that's one victory for Keiko, whether she wins or loses, because if people really hated her father that goddamn much, then she wouldn't have any goddamn chance, but here she is. 3 times in a motherfucking row, she's her political party runs the fucking show in Peru. So, there you go, freaking crazy. Keiko calls for Kuczynski's head, says, no, impeach the bastard because he's part of this Operation Car Wash, and then she goes to pre-trial jail because she was part of Operation Car Wash. 3 years, but that's pre-trial detention, so, maybe it's all fucking political. And then Glenn Greenwald always, trust that man, so whatever the hell he was saying, just, believe everything he says. It's just easier to start with that. Don't go with the official government. They lie, right? Glenn Greenwald doesn't lie. At least he, I think consciously tries not to. And then, so Keiko is going to go to, fucking jail for the shit that she was pushing for the, former president to go to jail for. They both get it, right? They both knocked each other out, kind of like a Rocky and the Apollo Creed final shot where they both punch each other at the exact same time. And then a former president of Peru is going to commit suicide. He's going to fucking commit suicide April 17th, 2019. This isn't but 2 years ago. So 2 years ago. So that's Operation Car Wash, Glenn Greenwald. Now I'm going to talk about coming up soon the La Cantuda Massacre and the Barrios Altos Massacre. Okay?